I have the Windows 10 just loaded on my desktop here. I played with it just for a little bit before I had to go to a job. But let's see if we could look at a few things with Windows 10. Let me just make sure I'm recording. I am. Okay, that's good. You notice on the bottom of the taskbar there are some things on the right hand side that look very familiar from Windows 8, and you can click the up arrow, and we have some of the similar things that were in Windows 8 that are carried over from Windows 10. One of the noticeable things here is this little search window on the left hand bottom side. I believe that's part of the Cortana application, and it says it can remind you of certain things to do, and I haven't played around with it yet and may come back to that later. But the interesting thing is my home screen is the same as it was before. Nothing changed. It kept the background that I had chosen. The startup screen looks a little bit different, but it's hard to record that when you can't launch the program until after you've got the computer going. But it's a little different screen. Same startup basically. It's just they changed the backdrop a little bit. Over here in the bottom left is where I've noticed a bigger change. You click on the start window on the bottom left, and it brings up the windows that used to be on the other screen when you would toggle back and forth between Windows 8 and what you're normally used to on your screen. And I see here I can scroll down, looks like, and it shows me, I believe, basically the stuff that I have up on the screen right now that was on this computer. Actually, it wasn't even on this computer because this was a Windows 7 computer. So apparently it has dropped in a few things that are, I guess, defaults for Windows 10. Here's the store, which was also the same with Windows 8. And it looks like we have Microsoft Edge. I believe this is the search window, which is also down here, which I believe takes the place of Internet Explorer in some aspect. And clicking for the first time, I don't know anything about what's going to come up, but let's open up the screen and see what we get. You can see a couple of things popped up. It's a new browser for the Windows 10, and Cortana, apparently she wants to be your personal assistant over here on the bottom right, and I'm assuming that the more that you use Cortana, the more helpful Cortana becomes. I'm not saying if it's a male or a female, but the name implies female, so we'll go with that. And we have, looks like, a start menu up here on the top left and a Microsoft Edge welcome screen. I'm going to go back to the start window, and that's I guess a default window for Windows Edge. I don't use Windows Explorer before, and so I'm assuming this is going to be similar to some kind of a startup screen that you would get if you had Windows Explorer. It looks like it might be working off of my Windows 8 settings from other setups, because I used to start this computer up with Windows 7 with my name and my password, and it didn't have the Windows 8 appearance because, of course, it was Windows 7. I did change my startup to my Windows 8 Gmail address that I believe will help me down the line. But for right now, this is what I see with Windows Edge. I'm going to check with my Chrome. I'm going to minimize this for a second. Go look here at Chrome. I do notice that there's an underline on the Explorer window, that tells you must have something opened. Let's see if Chrome will do the same thing. I clicked on it and it should be starting up here, and hopefully it will have my defaults that I was using before. It looks like it does. I see a lot of things loading in that I had loaded in before off of this computer, and apparently it held all the information and did not erase anything. I always like to start up with a basic Chrome window initially and then have everything else after that. Normally this is my startup window. I believe is Google right here, and so that's where I'm going to start up with, and this must be the first time opening up Chrome is going to give me this first browser window. But I always start here and let everything else be after that, so that if you have like Facebook, you don't want to have any crazy friends posting something that's crazy or maybe inappropriate to be your first screen to pop up to. So I always use Google as my first option. I will come back to this later and make some other adjustments as I see that I need to already. So I will be doing that. Back to the start bar. Under settings, let's look under there, because I believe that under security and update we need to make some changes here, and I will show you under security, Windows Update, advanced options. We want to go here, and I believe we want to choose how the updates are delivered. I believe. Nope, that's not it. Let's back up. There is a setting here that we are to look for. Give me updates for Microsoft products when I update Windows. You can turn that on or off. Choose how updates are delivered. Get updates from Microsoft and get updates from and send updates to PCs on my local network, or PCs on my local network and PCs on the internet. I believe this option here is what we want to change. Updates from more than one place. I believe what this does is hogs memory and internet bandwidth. So if we turn this off, we will have less problems with internet being slow or slowing down. I have heard that this is a place where updates need to be looked at, and I'm going to turn it off for right now because I believe this place, if you turn it on other PCs on the internet, it will grab updates from PCs anywhere in the world and put them together and download them onto your computer. Seems risky at this point. I may look at that later, but I'm going to not do it right now. I'm going to go back to settings and see what else we have here. We have Windows Defender, of course, and you can turn those on to your pleasure at whatever settings you like. Looks like we have other things here, and my activation is good. It's activated. I had Windows 7 Pro on this desktop. I've got Windows 10 Pro, and I was able to, of course, choose the correct 64-bit or 32-bit depending on what speed your computer is, and everything worked great. Took just a little over an hour to update. That could have been because the speed of my computer might be faster than yours. It might take you longer. It might take you less. I was downloading the system to a jump drive on my laptop wirelessly, and my computer desktop here is hardwired. It might make a difference as far as speed. If I had not done the laptop, it could have done it faster. I don't know. But just over an hour to get it updated. What was pretty quickly, I felt. I'm going to look here now at my system, because I feel like there might be a couple of things here that I need to look at if I can find anything that needs to be checked. For instance, power and sleep. When plugged in, turn off after, never, and never go to sleep. Here's additional power settings. This may be an option or an area where you want to look at what's going on. I've clicked on the section. I'm going to click on Advanced Power Settings. And this is what I'm looking for. Require a password on wake up? Yes. Hard disk. And we're just going to have to go down through here and appropriately check what needs to be checked as we go through, because I suspect some of these may need to be adjusted depending on what you want to do. And here is the USB settings. I have it disabled right now, which is good. I don't want it to go to sleep. Definitely don't want it to go to sleep on my laptops, so I will for sure be looking at those to make sure that everything is okay. One thing I'm noticing is there doesn't seem to be quite as many issues here to adjust as before. Now, it may be something I'll have to look at with my laptops to see if there's a difference. But it looks like things were already set for me, which is good. And let's see if there's anything like Device Manager. Devices and printers. Okay, so I was able to put that in there. I'm going to back this up and go back just a little bit, start over, because I want to find it this way and not the other way. I'm going to go back to System and Devices. I went to System before. This is where Device Manager, I believe, is residing. So let's check. Maybe. Connected devices. Shows everything is hooked up. Device Manager, I found it down here at the bottom of the connected devices. It may be at the bottom of each of those windows. I'm not sure. But here is where we might have the problems that we need to look at. Universal Serial Bus. We definitely want to look at those. Double click. Power management. There we go. This is turned off, which is good. That's what I want on all my settings. So I have to go through here on each of these and make sure that they're unclicked. It's a tedious process, but with the laptop computer, when you've got USB devices plugged into it, you want to make sure. If I don't see a power management, I don't worry about it. If I see one, I'm going to check them all. And so we're going to go through all of these at some point. I'm not going to do it now. I'll do it later. There is also other areas here. I believe it's under maybe it's network adapters. There's a power management. Allow the computer to turn off this device to save power. Nope. Thank you very much. And you would want to check these under your other laptops to make sure. Some of these in this section here, the human interface devices, I don't remember which one, but I know somewhere in here there is a problem. When you click on one of these, it may shut it off. And if this video stops, you will know not to mess with that USB input device, because I've changed it. Let's just find out. Nope, it seemed to hold. So there's other things in here. Let's just double click and see if they have issues. Nope, I think they're okay. Let's just click down a couple. Seem to be okay. And you may have to check other areas on this device manager just to make sure, but that's that. And it shows other devices hooked up. Let's just look here under printers and scanners. Yes, here's device manager. It seems to be at the bottom of each of this couple of the screens there, so if you can't find it, try printers and scanners or connected devices and check it out. Let's go back here and look at this. If I do a Windows X, yeah, if I do Windows key X, that brings up like in version 8 this little window, Windows key X. It's great place, great way to get to the control panel quickly. Windows key X and then go to the control panel and you're there quickly, and that's the same control panel as you're used to seeing as before. So that's good that they have kind of both options. You can go here, hardware and sound, and there's device manager that way. Get to it the same way. So we're good there. Or you can go to the start menu and you can see you've got other things here. There's File Explorer, which would be for exploring files on your computer, I believe. And we've got the All Apps. Looks like it will show all the apps that are on the computer or possibly on the computer, depending on what you've got in alphabetical order. That's kind of cool. I believe you could also go to, let's see if I can do Bridge. If I can do Bridge, I can search for Bridge on my computer, my stuff, or I can search on the web. So Bridge is a viewing program that is with Eclipse. If I click on my stuff, it will just give me the things that have the word Bridge